Let's talk a little bit about some technology, should we? Yeah. Let's talk, now you just heard about asking people and inviting people. That's always one of the most challenging things. It can get complicated. It's like, how do I do it? How do I go to my neighbor? What do I say? How do I say it? And a lot of times we become the message, meaning that we're the ones that are trying to answer all the questions. We're the ones that when somebody says, well, how much do I earn on this level of commissions? We jump in and we say, oh, you earn this much and this. And they say, well, what does Link do? And you say, oh, well, this is what it does and this is how it works. And then what do you do? Just like Ed taught us, you overwhelm them with way too much information. And it usually turns people off. They usually say, wow, that was exciting and you were talking fast, but I don't know what you were saying. So it happens a lot. But one of the things that we want to do, and one of the things that we've been working on for literally for months, is we are bringing out an incredible new phone app. Now I'm going to do something a little different. I want everybody to reach into your pocket and grab out this phone. Hopefully it's an Android. Nah, just kidding, Bryce. He gives me a hard time. He loves his Apple products. It's good. Pull out your smartphone right now. Go to the App Store. Go to the Google Play Store, and I want you to search ACTIVZ. If it doesn't pull up in the App Store, there's a solution. But double check. Can you see something? Go to the Google Play Store, the App Store. What do you see? All right. You see a big orange app there. Why don't you go ahead and download that right here while we're at it? Go ahead and download the app right now. It should take hopefully just a second or two. It's going to pull up something that's going to look something like that, right? Go ahead and download it. It's free. You can download it. It's available today. You're going to log into it by using your distributor ID number, so not your username, but your distributor ID number and your password that you use to log in to your back office, into your virtual office, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about this app and what this app is and what it does. So, a couple of the things. Once you log into the app, on that far, your left side of the screen, that's what the home page is going to look like. Once you've logged into it, it's going to have an opportunity to what? To share prospects. It's going to give you an opportunity to make it really easy to do three-way phone calls, really easy to set up events, really easy to log into your virtual office. When you click on that office button, it'll take you directly into your back office, and it'll give you any alerts. So here's what's awesome about this. What you're going to do is, once you've logged in there, you're going to say, okay, I've got a neighbor here. They keep asking all these questions about this incredible new product called OptiMend. Well, I don't really know what to say to them. But I know that if I go over and I talk to them, and I'm going to share a little bit too much with them. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, hey, can I send you a little video? You're going to go right in here. You're going to click that share button, and you're going to put in their information, and now they become a prospect to you. It's super simple. If you want to create a prospect, just share information with somebody that you know wants some information. Super easy, super simple. The beautiful part about this, as soon as I send it, let's say I send it to my good friend Ryan Thompson, and what does Ryan do? Because he's not that good of a friend right now in this situation. Ryan doesn't watch the video. What? He threw his phone in the garbage? No, he didn't watch the video I sent him. How dare him? Well, guess what? Because I sent it to him, guess what I know? I know he hasn't watched the video. Because it's going to track it right through your phone app. It's going to say, okay, Ryan has received the communication, but he hasn't yet watched it. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to follow up with Ryan and say, hey, good friend, good buddy, let's take a look at this video, right? And guess what happens? Maybe not the second time, maybe the third time. I see him out mowing his lawn. I say, hey, you seen that video yet? And he's like, I'm going to do it tonight. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. And what does he do? After you touch on him a couple of times, he watches the video. As soon as he watches the video, what happens in my app? I get an alert right over here that says, hey, Ryan Thompson is watching the video. Then it gives me an opportunity to reach out to Ryan and say, hey, what did you like about what you just saw? Super simple, super easy to use. This is going to be an incredible tool for inviting, for sharing content with people, and for following up with people. You're going to hear a lot more from Ryan later today talking about our system. And one of the important parts of that system is following up. And I mean, it's critical. The fortune is in the follow-up. We hear it over and over again. This is a tool that is going to help you to not only invite, but it's going to help you to follow up over and over, sharing content, sharing new content. It's going to be incredible. Now, we've had a number of people here in the crowd that have been demoing this for a short period of time. We've had maybe less than 4 or 5 days that we've been demoing this. We've been going through the app. We've been testing it to make sure that everything works. But there's a good friend of mine who's in the crowd that has used this as much as literally anybody. He used it at a previous opportunity, and it was incredible the results that he had. And I want to bring to stage my good friend. He's an A7. I want to bring Paul Sadowski up to the stage and let him talk a little bit about this phone app, and a little bit about how to use this phone app to help build your business. So with that said, my friend, I'll turn the mic over to you.
Thank you, John. Everybody, I just want to say how thankful I am to be here, how grateful I am to be here, and how humbled I am to be here to be able to speak with you today. You guys are indeed my family. And I guess the first thing I want to mention is just do a shout out to my team, because I got 15 people here, and I would not be here without each and every one of them. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. But I talked to an open-minded corporate staff about this about a year ago. And I talked to him about this because I saw this as going to be a wonderful tool that would really enhance and go right along with the products that we have, products that people are going to take and feel right away. And I got to mid-ranks, and I got to a very frustrating point because I really wanted to be on top. At any rate, Paige Gimbel came along with another opportunity for me, and that other opportunity had a couple products, and they weren't scientific products. And so I became a student after I got involved in LifeVantage of network marketing. And marketing is everything. Marketing is everything really that takes place before the sale. It's not sales. It's touches. It's a period of touches and sharing information. So if we could make that sharing easier, then more people are going to get involved and more people are going to be able to be, and you're going to hear Paige talk about this later, duplication. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, this is not a tool. This is the tool. Okay? For those of you that have trouble, and we all do, leaving a comfort zone, talking to people, okay? Maybe even with a busy schedule, just working as hard as you really need to work. And everybody in this room knows you got to work hard to be successful at network marketing. But if there was an easier way to do that, if there was an easier way to share information, this is it. And like John said, the beauty of this app is you can pique somebody's interest. I'm going to talk about this really quick here. PS3, piquing interest, sharing information, in this case, sharing a video, and doing a three-way. That's all it takes. You can easily sit down with somebody with our new product, OptimEnd, a friend of yours, because you know how OptimEnd works, and you want to share it with them, and they might have back pain or neck pain. Well, what you can do with this is you can say, hey, Ted, I'm going to send you some information on you've got neck pain. I've had pain myself. I've been taking a new product. I'm going to send you a real short video. I think that one we saw was maybe about 5 minutes. Can't be more than that. Remember that video we saw? You send Ted that video, and you say, Ted, I'm going to send you this by text. When you get a chance, watch it. If you see something you like, I have some free samples for you. Ted will watch that video. He may not watch it that night, but he's going to watch it the next day. Now, in the old way, we'd have to kind of guess when Ted watched that video, right? That's bad juju. Because if you call Ted back again before Ted's watched that video, you are now chasing Ted. And it's a game, and you're going to probably lose it. But having the knowledge that Ted has already viewed that video. Oh, and by the way, Ted liked what he saw, so he clicked on the link to your website, which is on there as well. So Ted now visited your website because he's wondering what that costs and he's wanting some more info. You have that knowledge before you call Ted back. And Ted may have watched that at 9:30 in the evening, and so the next morning you text Ted and say, hey, Ted, just want to remind you when you get a chance to watch that video I sent you, if you see something you like, I've got some free samples. Ted will be right on his text message and tell you that he watched it last night. And yes, he would love free samples. There is nobody that doesn't want free samples after they see a video like we saw this morning. That was quality. Thank you. And then when you give Ted those samples, those of us in here that have already had OptimEnd, how many people out of 10 are going to notice that? How many people in pain are going to notice those samples? Ted, exactly. Ted is going to instantly be a customer. And you know what? You don't even have to go right for a distributor right away. Let him be a customer for a while. Let him tell his friends and family without worrying about that thought that, ooh, I make money from it now. Remember when you first started and you felt a little bit weird? You were excited and you were passionate, but you didn't quite know how to approach somebody? It takes all of that away. And so now Ted can get back with you, and after a while you can say to Ted, well, Ted, you know, it's not necessarily about building a large organization and making $30,000 a month, but do you know 5 or 10 people that hurt like you do? 5 or 10 people that hurt like you do that you may want to share this with and help them? Because if you do, yours could be free. So you are allowing Ted to take baby steps to grow his own belief system, and then eventually Ted will figure out that he can do this, just like all of us in here can do this. And anyway, that's what I've learned. I'm just very thankful that corporate looked at these apps. I feel honored that they chose out of all the apps that they looked at, the one that I recommended to them because I really like this one. And I thank you for your time here today, everybody. God bless you.
Thank you, Paul. You know, and I'll say this about this. We did look at a lot of different phone apps. We looked from giant companies. We looked at a lot of different phone apps, and this was the one that we were head and shoulders above all the other phone apps that we looked at. And I want to thank Paul for his following up, because a year ago he talked to us about this. And then about 10 months ago, and then 9 months ago, and 8 months ago, and 7 months ago, and 6 months ago, and he kept talking about it, and he never let it down. And at that point, we weren't ready for it. We didn't have all the assets in place. We didn't have all the pieces in place, but he kept following up, and I'm super, super excited about this app. I will promise you this. If you use this tool, your businesses will grow, your ranks will increase, and your checks will go up. I promise you that. If you use this to its full potential, you will have success, period. But you've got to put in the time to share it, to use it, and to take advantage of it. So who's going to do that? Who's going to use this? All right.